Alright, here we go, chat. Mujin responded to the backlash, and we're gonna be watching the video. 12 minutes of bullshit. So here we go. We've already talked about this drama extensively over on the Twitters, right? We addressed all the shit that was coming out. You know, it's a whole thing. We're gonna see what Mujin has to say, and because I don't really expect anything good to be said, we're just gonna be rating this apology. We're gonna rate it scale of 1 to 10. We'll see how Mujin does. Oh boy, here we go. You know what? I'm actually gonna take a piss before we watch this bullshit. I'll be back, chat. Let's get this show on the road. Very very begrudgingly. There we go. Finally got it out.
Alright, so first things first, this video is not monetized. I'm not about to pull a CC in the big 2026. I'm making this in regard to my last video about Sykkuno. I want to clarify how this video came to be, while also taking accountability and apologizing for the mistake.
By the way, yes, I'm watching it is sped up, because I want to minimize the amount of time I'm spending here, okay? This is a 12-minute apology. You think I'm going to sit through 12 minutes of this guy talking? Fuck no!
That I made. At the same time, I also want to clear up some misinformation spread about me over the last few days. This video was meant to come out a bit earlier, but I was told by someone in the know that Sykkuno might release a joint statement with his girlfriend, so I chose to wait for that first, just in case. I'll also be going through that later in the video. So, how did this all begin? Well, for me, it was on April 7th when I was reached out to by Mal for the first time. I was told that a Google Doc was releasing soon about a big content creator, and this is when I was asked if I wanted access to it early to maybe make a video about it. The document was going to publicly release on the 10th anyway. This means that this wasn't some grand conspiracy, okay? This document was going to release with or without me. And while yes, rumors of Sykkuno's behavior have been floating around for a while now between certain content creator circles, none of this was going to really convince me to make an early video. If you've watched my channel before, then you'd know that I'm someone who highly values both sides of the story. It's actually
Okay, that was pretty funny. That's 1 point. That's one out of 10. 1 out of 10 apology. That was good. That was good. I like that. I like that.
Something that I always implore you to do before forming your own opinions. And while I do receive so many DMs about scoops or exclusive info about certain topics, I mostly never take them, always choosing to wait for things to unfold in public first before making my videos. What made the situation special though was the 17-minute video recording of the voice call between Mal and Sykkuno. My logic here was simple. It was me thinking that we already had the other side of the story, and it was Sykkuno admitting to his wrongdoings in the most raw and unfiltered way possible. So I figured that was enough. At the same time,
I see. So you like to wait and see for the other side, but for this situation in particular, you decided to make an exception. Alright, sure. Even though the recording was very shitty. The only thing proven in the recording was that Sykkuno is a cheater. That whole predator business, well, all that stuff kind of falls apart because of the recording.
I thought that since my channel had grown exponentially, don't ask me how or why because I have no idea.
Okay. Self-glaze? Okay, buddy.
I could maybe use my platform for a good cause, spreading awareness about Sykkuno's behavior so that no one else gets tricked into being a homewrecker against their will, while in parallel, encouraging others who have been wronged by him to finally speak up. Additionally, seeing that the person speaking up was doing so from a small account, I figured I could help amplify that message to spread maximum awareness. Now, some people could definitely argue that I was desperate for a topic to bring in views, but to me it didn't matter because I was already lucky enough to be able to cover niche topics I enjoy and still somehow reach over 1 million views on them. Again.
I'm sorry, but the glaze is just too funny. I have to point it out.
Don't ask me how because I don't know, but that was just the reality. Here's the thing. Releasing the video around the same time as the document meant that I was taking a substantial risk by putting my channel's reputation on the line. I knew this, even at the time, but it was a risk I was willing to take if it meant that I was doing the right thing. Unfortunately though, it didn't really work out as I had hoped, and I ended up making mistakes that I need to take accountability for, which is why we're here today. The first mistake can be found in the intro of the video. And it's
You're
using
retarded.
The word predator. Yes, it was my idea, and the logic behind it was me
Oh, it was your idea. Well, that makes things very interesting now. Wow, okay. Well, so if Big Sykkuno does in fact decide to pursue some sort of legal lawsuit, thanks to Mujin's own admission, he's going to be at the top of that list. This is good stuff. Good stuff.
trying to encompass everything, like the serial cheating, lying, and deliberate targeting of smaller content creators into one word. Before using it, I even made sure to double check its definition in multiple dictionaries, which said things like a person or an organization that uses weaker people to their advantage, or one who injures or exploits others for personal gain or profit. Due to this, I had come to the conclusion that this one fits. I find that
You are the stupidest fucking person I've ever heard. That is the stupidest fucking reason I ever heard in my life. Okay, let's just go. Two things, okay? Two big things. Number one, Mujin covers drama. That is his whole thing. That is his whole shtick. He covers drama in this, documentary style a video, right? He knows what sort of implications Predator has. He knows what people immediately think when they hear or see someone accusing another content creator or another person in general of being a predator. He knows what sort of connotation that word carries as a drama channel. He knew, and he used the word predator in order to amplify the story. And I'm going to tell you what I think his logic was here. I know he's explaining it, but let me tell you what I think. I think he thought that using the word predator would amplify the story, and he looked into these definitions as some sort of way to cover his ass if any sort of a big stink was made about his use of the word predator, right? His idea was to use that as some sort of gotcha, like, haha, retard. Predator doesn't only mean that, it also means this, you stupid fuck. And that's literally what he did, right? That's what he was doing on Twitter in his little crash outs. That's what I think happened there. So I don't believe him when he says that bullshit. And number two, Predator, under the law, has a very specific definition, right? We saw it in the Legal Mindset video when he was talking about how the use of the word predator could open up the VTubers and Mujin to a lawsuit, right? To a defamation suit, right? Because the word predator under the law means someone who has been convicted, right? Someone that has been convicted of a sexually violent crime, right? That is the definition of predator under the law, right? So I don't care what your Oxford or Britannica or Urban Dictionaries say, okay? I don't care. That word has a very clear definition under the law.
Afterwards, though, that for many people, that word is only reserved to describe pedophiles or sexual predators, which made a substantial amount of people feel misled after watching the intro of my video. It made it seem like the law exaggerating things, and it also made it seem like Sykkuno had committed very serious crimes, enough to land him in a high-security prison or something, when that clearly wasn't the case. That was not my intention at all, and I'm sorry for that.
Sure,
from now on, I'll only use that.
Well, to be fair, I don't think that was his intention. I think he just wanted to amplify the story, and he figured, yeah, calling him a predator is going to be great for the views, great for the clicks.
Word to refer to pedophiles or sexual predators. That's it, no exceptions. I'd also like to say that yes, the video was rushed. It simply didn't meet the quality standard that you expected of me, and that's without even mentioning that it was clearly biased and didn't attempt to see different viewpoints. There's a reason I don't typically reach out to people involved in public incidents, because it's very easy to form bias after you communicate directly with them. It's just human. So yeah, what Mal said at the end of her call with Sykkuno was off-putting, and it wouldn't have hurt for me to point that out. I get that. I was instead more focused on Sykkuno's admittance of guilt. I'm sorry for letting you guys down in that regard. You trust me with a certain quality standard, and I just couldn't deliver it this time, and that's on me. I also want to apologize to Sykkuno's girlfriend. In the 17-minute video of the voice recording, there was one frame, which represents 1/60th of a second, that wasn't blurred, and it leaked to the group chat she was in when she found out that Sykkuno had been cheating on her with multiple people. This frame was enough for certain individuals to confirm her username, and it impeded on her privacy. I was not the one who handled blurring it, but I still included the entire thing in my own video and completely missed that detail. So I take full responsibility for that. I'm sorry. With all that being said,
well, that's what happens when you rush videos, little buddy. Yeah, you wanted to be the first one on that scoop, that big, juicy scoop. Are the consequences of your own actions, buddy.
Apologies are great, but there's no use presenting them if there's no attempt to act on them. And that's exactly what I intend to do. But first, I want to go through some misinfo that was spread about me in recent days and set the record straight.
I'm
When the video first
excited.
released, XQC reacted to it almost immediately and would spend his time defending Sykkuno while trying to undermine the things he's done to people. He would also comment on my video. In that comment, he'd make it seem like my problem with Sykkuno's behavior had to do with the lack of clout of the women he reached out to. In any case, what would happen next is a narrative that would form saying that I deleted his comment because I couldn't handle his unparalleled wisdom. As you can see, that's false. It's still right here, along with all the wonderful comments left by his community too. I really don't know why he and some other content creators tried so hard to defend.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay. So first of all, yeah. To be fair, the comment's still there, but let's just go past that for a minute. I'm gonna give him another point for this chat. 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 so far. Big brain moves here. Shifting blame from himself onto XQC, everybody's favorite Canadian. Well, we know what you're doing, buddy.
Sykkuno's behavior, as if he was their long-lost brother or something.
By the way, that's not really what XQC was saying, but sure.
All I know is that cheating has been shunned by humanity for thousands of years, regardless of gender. Maybe normalizing it now is probably a bad idea, but hey, you're free to form your own opinion. Go for it. Next.
Okay, well, straw man. Literally, like, 2 people are defending the cheating. Everybody unanimously agrees that the cheating was shitty, that the cheating was bad. Everybody unanimously agrees on that. I don't know where Mujin is getting this shit from. I don't know what the fuck he's on about. Like,
some people tried to claim that I changed my video's title because I was scared of a defamation lawsuit from Sykkuno. Sure, a random lawyer from Fiverr might claim that, but it's false.
Okay. He doesn't name drop, but I think that's a jab at let's be honest, Chad. I think that's a jab. I think that's a jab at Andrew.
Here's a neat trick. You can go to a website like viewstats.com, go to any channel, we'll pick, I don't know, Mr. Beast, click on a video, and you'll actually be able to see any thumbnail or title changes since upload. Pretty cool, right? Now, if you were to do that with my video, you'd see that there were no thumbnail or title changes whatsoever since upload. So that's false. And look, defamation is about knowingly lying about someone in order to ruin it.
Nope, that's not defamation, buddy. Again, you don't know what you're talking about. There's such thing as negligent defamation. You ever heard about that one, buddy? Yeah, that's another different form of defamation that exists. It doesn't only have to be intentional or malicious. It can, in fact, be negligence. And going based off your actions and what you've said so far, you would definitely fall under the category, at least in my opinion. I'm not a lawyer, obviously. I'm a fiber lawyer, I guess. In my opinion, going based off what I personally, my limited knowledge on the law when I was doing all the research and talking about this whole situation on Twitter, and from what Andrew said in his video, you could very easily fall under the category of negligent defamation. 100%, in my opinion.
Their reputation. I had no intention of lying in my video about Sykkuno. And if I did want to lie, then wouldn't I have just simply removed the last 2 minutes of Mal and Sykkuno's voice call so that she looks way better and he looks way worse? It just doesn't make sense. I never make any video with the intent.
Well, like you said, you were rushing the video. Hey, what are we talking about? Naturally, you didn't remove the last 2 minutes because you were rushing it, right? I mean, sure, that's just a guess on my part, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that's why you left it in.
Intention of lying. Period. And finally, when it comes to misinfo, there's also something else that honestly doesn't deserve attention at all, but I'll still mention it. And it's this weird rumor or fan fiction that some people made up saying that I only made this video to try and get with the women that were affected by Sykkuno's actions. Anyone who knows me or has ever spoken with me in the content creation sphere knows that I never even attempt to flirt. I keep thinking.
Okay, buddy. All right. Okay. Let's be honest, chat. Chat. Y'all think Mr. White Knight? I don't know, chat. I'm gonna have to press X to doubt on that one. I'm gonna have to press X to doubt on that one, Chief.
Strictly professional. I take my platform very seriously and would never seek to use it in that way. It's something it's obviously also very disrespectful to anyone who was hurt by Sykkuno's actions, but it's not that people cared about them to begin with. All right, so next up we have the joint statement that was posted by Sykkuno and his girlfriend. The first half was written by Sykkuno. In it, he reiterated that he liked.
I mean, I guess he's not wrong. I don't really care about the women, though. The only person I care about and feel bad for is the IRL girlfriend. The other women I don't really give too much of a fuck about, to be honest. So I guess he's not wrong on that one.
To people about being single and that he has been unfaithful to his girlfriend. He'd apologize and say that he'd be taking a break from streaming in order to better himself. He'd also call out anyone trying to frame him with false accusations. So yeah, as you can see, not much has changed. He's already admitted to these things in the voice call. When it comes to false accusations though, yes, there are stories that have circulated for years among some VTubers that accuse Sykkuno of doing worse than cheating. At this point though, it is not up to me to say whether it's true or not. Just pointing out what he might be referring to. He could also be referring to the word predator, which I already apologized for. Now the second...
Sure, you apologize for it, but it's not how it works, buddy. If Sykkuno wants to go after you legally, I said sorry, he's not going to hold up in court, buddy.
Second half of this statement would be written by his girlfriend. She'd express how hard this has all been on her and how hurt she felt over not having a choice on whether this went public or not, saying that she understands that many people were hurt, but that her feelings felt like they weren't really considered at all. She'd call out people who sought to use this incident for profit and would say that even prior to this going public, she was already trying to work through things with Sykkuno in order to repair their relationship together. She'd end her statement by saying that even with everything that has come out, she doesn't consider Sykkuno's actions irredeemable. She's going to stay with him and try to fix their relationship in spite of everything. Listen, I can't imagine what she's been through in just these last few weeks. Finding out that your boyfriend has been cheating on you for years, that he slept with someone as recently as December 2025 behind your back, and that he was still trying to arrange a meetup with someone else as you were already trying to fix your relationship after what had happened in December. I mean, seriously, it's just insane. But I do think this needs to be said. The fact that this went public is unfortunate, but people were genuinely hurt by Sykkuno lying to them that he was single. Maybe it's an unpopular opinion at this point. Let me know if you think it is, but if someone lied to me about being single, and I later found out that us having sex directly hurt their partner, made them depressed, and ruined or at least endangered a 5-year-long relationship, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. That's simply not what I would have signed up for. And seeing that he's a public figure who used this public standing to get with these women after lying to them, it felt like this going public was going to be inevitable. But that doesn't...
Sure, but it doesn't mean that it had to go public. This is the reality, chat. This whole drama should have never been on the internet. This whole drama is a bunch of messy relationship shit that should have stayed between these parties. It should have never seen the light of day on the internet. It should have stayed strictly between Sykkuno, the girlfriend, and all of the women that Sykkuno was involved with. These parties are the only ones that are involved in this whole thing. This isn't really even drama, right? This isn't internet drama, right? This isn't something like, Pokimane said something retarded on stream or on TikTok. A huge day for the unemployed. This is a personal matter, and it should have never been on the internet. This should have been resolved behind the scenes. The only reason this was put on the internet was for clout. Let's be honest, right? It was all for clout.
That her feelings are not valid because they are. When it comes to me, I did have a hand in spreading this to the public by releasing my video so quickly, and I simply had no right to do so, and for that, I am sorry. Now, I've seen some people's reactions to this announcement, and yeah, as you might expect, it's not sunshine and roses. This whole topic has been extremely polarizing on the internet to begin with, and the girlfriend in particular is getting hate thrown her way with people calling her things like gold digger or Stockholm Syndrome victim for not leaving him. Here's the thing though. What matters here is that Sykkuno stops his serial cheating streak and that he stops lying to women.
Yeah, I think that's stupid. I don't agree with the people going after the girlfriend. I think that's fucking retarded. Right, I think it's up to her. She's an adult. She can make whatever decisions she wants to make. You guys don't know what she's thinking. You don't know what she's feeling. You don't know what the relationship is like behind the scenes. And I mean, it's easy to say that the girlfriend is fucking retarded for staying with the serial cheater. But I mean, it's easy to say that, but it's a different story if you were to be in a situation like that, right? You don't know, like maybe she really does genuinely love the guy, and she wants to be with him, and she believes that he can change. You don't know, right? You don't know. It's not your place to say. I mean, I just think it's stupid that people were going after the girlfriend and saying all that shit about it, right? Because they don't know. They don't know. That's, maybe hot take, I guess. Not very red pill of me.
About him being single while turning them into homewreckers against their will. That's it. If she wants to stay, that's her choice. She doesn't deserve to get nasty things said about her, though. I wish her the best, and I again would like to apologize if I directly contributed to any harm that you might have gone through. That was not my intention. Look, ultimately, my favorite YouTuber growing up was PewDiePie. Yeah, I enjoyed his sense of humor, the fact that for the longest time, he was the sole runner of his channel, which gave him so much authenticity, but most of all, what I really liked about him was that he was not ashamed of being human. He would make mistakes, but when he would, he'd also sincerely apologize and work to learn from them. It's no secret that today, as a content creator, if you were to make a mistake, it would be so much easier to wait for it to die down in a week and then continue business as usual, as if nothing had happened. I was even advised by some to do exactly that and not release this video. And I understand why. It unfortunately works. But to me, it's simple.
Whoa, that's very interesting. That's a very interesting thing to say. Because let's do the mathematics on this, chat. This video came out a week after the original expose. And yeah, he said that he heard that Sykkuno was going to be making a statement about it, so he decided to wait. I don't believe him. You know what I think? I think he was advised to wait a week and let it blow over. And when he saw that was in fact not going to work, he made this video to try and do some damage control. That's what I think. That's what I think, chat. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Somebody give me my tinfoil hat.
The right thing to do, even if it leads to more scrutiny and people disliking me. I screwed up, I'm going to say sorry, and I will improve. So what am I going to change exactly? Well, to start, I'll never give another exception to a scoop or exclusive info. I will do what I've always done on this channel and talk about things that have already played out in public. I don't care if a 5-star general gives me info about World War III starting tomorrow. I will make the video after the nukes drop. I also realize now just how much you guys value my objectivity. I understand I'm not perfect at it, and I probably never will be, but I'll always strive to present information to you in the most balanced way possible so that you can, in the end, form your own opinion. And finally, no matter how much this channel grows, I'll always ask you to be honest with me, and I promise to take accountability when needed, just like I'm doing right now. So look, if the last video was a deal breaker for you and you want to unsubscribe, then I completely understand. But I won't let you leave without thanking you first. Take care, and may our paths cross again someday. On the other hand, if you're planning to stick around for future content, then I'd like to thank you so much for allowing me to make a mistake and grow from it. I say this all the time when I stream, but not a day goes by where I take any of this for granted. And the fact that so many of you watch me, whether you're driving home, chilling at work, doing chores, knitting, or just eating, I'm so honored to be able to make your day a bit less mundane with my videos. It's truly a blessing. Thank you. I also would like to thank my Discord mods, my friends, and my viewers who reached out during this time. It meant a lot, and I really appreciate it. The Sykkuno video was live for a week, so I'll keep this video live for a week as well. However, I do plan to private the original video as soon as this video gets uploaded. I'll do that sooner rather than later.
All right, chat. That's his third point. 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 apology. So you're gonna private your apology after a week. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Honestly, 5-head move there, right? Bro's playing a 4D chest over here, right? Because now, if any new people come across the Mujin channel, they won't see this little hiccup, this little fuck up on his resume, right? So it's like, you know, he's squeaky clean Mujin. That's a very curious move there. 10,000 IQ. Honestly,
you enjoy at the level of quality that you expect.
And he's not deleting. He's only going to private it. Very interesting, chat.
As always, thank you so much for watching until the end, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video, whenever that is.
Well, chat. My time was very much so well spent doing that. 3 out of 10 apology. I think he accomplished what he set out to do, right? He did. At the end of the day, Mujin doesn't really give a shit about what, you know, Sykkuno thinks. He doesn't really give a shit about what anybody on Twitter was criticizing him for. He doesn't give a shit about any of us, right? This video was strictly for to do damage control in among his core audience, right? And I think, personally, I think this was very successful. I think he very much so succeeded in doing damage control among his community. And yeah, I mean, didn't talk about the Twitter crash outs a single time, right? He didn't talk about how he was crashing out on Twitter, you know, his unhinged rant about powder, nothing of that sort, right? Because he doesn't want his core audience to go and look at what he was up to on Twitter. But yeah, I mean, what you gonna do? Very, very funny situation. And I mean, yeah, I mean, I didn't like Mujin before this, but you know, now I like him even less. And yeah, I mean, he's not a trustworthy source. But yeah, 3 out of 10 apology, a 9 out of 10 rage bait, and 10 out of 10 for wasting my fucking time. I'm glad I sped up the damn video, because golly, 12 fucking minutes. Crazy work.